Hello, welcome to another tonalist landscape oil painting demonstration. This is your painter in residence, M. Francis McCarthy, and the painting I'm bringing you today is called Summer Trees. It's a sepia, I don't even want to call it a study, it's sepia painting, but it has a dual purpose. It is actually stands alone as a sepia painting, but when it's totally bone dry in a week or two, I aim to do some extreme glazing on it and turn it into a golden sunset. So that's something to look forward to in the new year, because that's my plan. And so how did I prep for that? Well, I had some other, I've been wanting and talking about in the members area mostly, which you can access. There's a link. Just click on the little more button underneath this video. You'll see the link to the members area. And I've been talking about for a long time how it's really easy to turn a sepia painting into, with glazing into, really you could turn it into a full-blown color landscape. In this case I'm going to do a golden landscape, and it's going to look really awesome. But I had grabbed, the thing is, getting around to my point, sorry about that. When you glaze, if the painting's kind of dark, it's going to get a lot darker. So one of the things I did when I painted this was, knowing that I have an intention of glazing it, I kept really those lighter middle values, or middle dark values, and lightest values. I pushed everything over to the lighter column a bit, so that there will be room for the glazing to to be dark. One thing is about glazing, though, is it doesn't affect the darkest areas of the painting. So the bits that are very dark or black aren't changed by glazing at all. Only the light areas are changed. But I won't talk too much about glazing right now, because we're not glazing. We're doing a sepia painting. So I did my underpainting with I want to say raw umber. I think I will say raw umber. It still looks reddish anyway, and this is probably due to the transparency on the masonite board I'm working on. And for you people that haven't been to the channel before, what I'm painting on is hardboard, aka in the States we call it masonite. And I've got 2 coats of transparent gesso on there, so it looks like I'm just painting on a raw board. But the reality is I'm painting on a prepped board. And that brown tone really works well with what I'm after and what I'm trying to do as a tonalist landscape painter. The only time I really do modify that is if I'm going to do like a grayscale painting. And what I'll do then is just get me some, I'll usually just take a hardboard that's already been prepped with the transparent gesso and just give it a quick coating of a gray gesso that's made from white and black gesso, or even sometimes just some acrylic paint. I'll make a quick gray up and just cover the board and let it dry. I did a black and white one, monochromatic, recently. I haven't shared it on the channel yet, mostly because it came out super dark and there's some passages that I want to lighten, and that'll be coming into New Year too. Everything's coming in New Year now, because out here it's December 31st of 2021. And what an eventful year it was. But we don't come to this channel, or you don't come to this channel for news. There's lots of channels that do that. But we've got a lot of good painting done this year. We started out the year with the solo pigment series and a sepia series and things like that, and we've just been painting our way through the whole year. Nothing can stop us. Well, plenty could stop us, but God willing, nothing will. And we'll be able to continue painting, because that's what I love to do, and I love to share. And hopefully you're getting some good value off this. Yeah. Now, I did a little mixing. One of my goals on this was, I didn't want like you can see, the colors in the sky are a bit grayish, gray umber. I didn't want that to go too red. I wanted to leave lots of room for color in the glazing. And there was a character that was in the reference image, which again is available in the members area. You'll see that. at the beginning of the members area video, and I usually talk about strategies and things I see in the reference. Like one thing I'll point out is because I love you too. You don't have to be a member. You know, you're a subscriber. So, or if you're not a subscriber, go ahead and be one. And, all you gotta do is click on the thing. But okay, you see these massive trees, and over on our right, there's a hole there. That's going to get completely plugged in. I was debating filling that with sky. What you're seeing coming through there right now is just the color of the board. And this is just something I've learned over time, that you feel like something like that's going to be cool and good, but it actually compositionally, to my eyes, it's in this case anyway, will be way stronger to just close that hole off altogether. And so you won't have people won't have a tendency to linger over there and wonder what's going on over there. They're just going to skedaddle to the center of the painting and float around in the trees with the stream. Now this is this painting's based on a reference image by Leonard Misson, who was a amazing pictorialist photographer. Really you've got Stitchin and all the group of those pictorialists. I can't remember the name of his magazine, but it might come to me. But what the pictorialists were was a movement in photography that a lot of them were actual painters, where they were really attempting with photos to make very painterly scenes. So a lot of times things might be a little out of focus, or a lot of the effects were made by doing a certain type of plate and pressing directly into paper. Some would even manipulate the plate itself with various effects. I'm not a photographer, so I can't give you too much solid information. I do know that you could definitely go for a pictorialist approach with your reference photography if you wanted. By well, you could photograph in black and white. I think some cameras give you that option, but really the key thing is not to have too tight of a focus. So maybe go to manual focus and just kind of dial that sharp focus down. I have heard of one fellow who takes pictures through a pair of sunglasses. I'd like to try that one day, maybe next time I get the camera out. I don't usually wear sunglasses myself because I want to get that little vitamin D in there, but I'm sure I could borrow my wife's. Anyway, you could even like shoot a photo through a bit of a plastic that's been kind of scratched up or whatever. There's a lot of things you could do. But the real thing about the pictorialists is they knew their composition. Like this is a masterful composition that Leonard did. And funny enough, there's another painting, I don't think I have shared that yet either, where it's actually the same scene from the other side. So, and it was the last previous painting I did as well. Isn't that weird? Yeah, that's weird. This was actually his photo would have would have painted up real well as an 8x10, but I didn't have an 8x10 boards prepared, so what I did was in Photoshop I stretched it out a little so it would make an 8x12, which is a really nice proportion to paint at. That's the 2x3 proportion, also known as the golden mean, So it's like if you were to make this a square and cut that square in half and add the other half to the end, that's the proportion you would have. Yeah, so as aka 2x3. And also 2x3. You could paint a 2 foot by 3 foot painting or a 2 meter by 3 meter painting, and that would have the golden mean proportion as well. And a lot of artists, like if you look into Ernest, almost everything he ever did was golden mean. He was big on it. And golden mean isn't a certain size, it's a proportion. So like I said, it could be 2 inches by 3 inches, 2 feet by 3 feet. This painting was 8 inches by 12 inches. You get it? It's like you take half of 8, that's 4, you add it to 8, you get 12. Right? So that's the easy way to figure out the golden mean. And 8x12 is also pretty standard, like not a 100% standard photo frame size, but it is a standard photo frame size. A lot of proportions of your full sensor cameras are going to be golden mean, and 35 millimeter proportions are also golden mean, so a little less than a golden mean. The black that I used here was actually I had a couple challenges here which I dealt with. One, I love raw umber, but it's so transparent that I can struggle with it because I'm not getting a coverage. So my strategy here was to bring in brown ochre. Now almost every paint company has a yellow ochre, but not all of them have a brown ochre. The brown ochre that I found and have used and am using is from Old Holland, and it's a great color. Really love it. I have a couple extra tubes of it around. What I love about it is that it's like mostly opaque, and so I can mix it into raw umber and I get a color that's very umbery. The other thing I did to balance out that transparency in the raw umber was to use Mars Black, and Mars Black is an opaque black. And you might think these things don't matter, but they do matter if you're struggling to get coverage from your paint, and that which I was, and that's because the raw umber is a very transparent color. In fact, it's a wonderful color to glaze with. I mean, if you want that kind of effect, it's going to be kind of grayish, greeny. Some raw umbers can lean more red, or some lean more green. It actually settles that space right up between the two. Definitely a very useful color on my palette. In fact, one of the things I'm always, when I'm doing the recording of the videos, which go into the members area, like this one will, I'm talking about my paint mixtures, and how I'm getting the results I'm getting. And I think that's information that a lot of painters starting out are really interested in learning about, because the number one question over the years I've got on the channel is always about color combinations and what colors on my palette and what colors am I using to mix certain colors. And so in the members area, you won't see it here, but there's a whole section where usually I'll go through and pre-mix colors for a scene. On this one, I think I just did that for the lightest colors, because everything else was the raw umber and black, basically, and yellow ochre. Yeah. In fact, 4 colors went into this: yellow ochre, brown ochre, raw umber, and black, and that's it. Yeah. I'm really pleased with the way it came out. Especially, I think I did a good job with getting a nice soft edge on those trees. Which, something I'm pretty good at doing now. I've been doing this for a long time, but a lot of different strategies. My favorite strategy, though, is to always, like when I'm bringing in that light color that's the sky, I'm always making sure that where it hits the trees, the edges are somewhat soft or broken up, and not soft by being smeared, soft by fracture of the brushwork, so the brush strokes break up a little there. And actually, when you zoom in on the paintings, you can see sometimes a little bit of board color actually quite a lot of board color peeking through, especially where a darker area tree might overlap a lighter bit of sky. Anyway, that's it for today and this painting and this year. Thank you so much for your comments this year, and the people that have supported me in the members area and that have bought paintings and made donations. You people really make all of this worthwhile for me, and just people that watch too. Thanks for taking your time and watching what I do. And if you did leave me a comment, that's even better. I really appreciate that. The likes and thumbs ups are all good. It's all good, The important thing to me is that you're getting something from it. Maybe you're a painter yourself, and if you are, get to work. Turn off this video and get to work. Quit messing around. You're not going to get great by watching videos, okay? That said, come back for my next video, which is going to be out real soon. And until that happens, do me a favor, do me a solid. Take good care of yourself, your family, all your loved ones. Stay out of trouble. And God bless you and your family, and I hope you have a wonderful, prosperous, and healthy, especially healthy New Year.